Growing up in the 2000s, I quickly learned as a kid that to be considered an elite striker in Europe's top 5 leagues, it was like commonly thought of that there was an expectation, a standard that you had to hit every single year. That expectation, that standard was hitting 20 league goals. 20 league goals used to be the magic number as a center forward. If you can hit 20 in the league, hey man, you are insane. You are top. 20 plus, wow, you're flying. You are elite. Like you are an elite center forward if you hit 20 plus league goals a year. 15 to 20, you're still great, man. But 20 plus, that's the golden number. And if you hit that, you are considered one of the best center forwards in the game. Then you add 10 plus in other competitions. You end the season on around 30 goals in all comps. Man, that's an amazing season right there. And that was the case throughout the 2000s. You look at David Villa, you look at Eto'o, you look at Ibrahimovic, you look at Rooney, Van Nistelrooy, whoever you want to kind of take as a case study. You look at most of their seasons and they're averaging roughly 20 league goals a season. Then two freaks came into the game and completely redefined what it meant to be a goal scorer in football. They were, of course, named Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. And everything we thought we knew about what it took to be an elite goal scorer was very, very quickly discarded by those two. And all of a sudden, you were seeing two guys completely elevate the standards, the expectation, the baseline of what it took to be an elite goal scorer. Because from 20 goals a season, you were seeing now two guys hit levels where they were hitting 40 goals a season, 50 goals a season, 60 goals a season. For the little men, 91 goals in a year. All of a sudden, everything we knew about goal scoring completely went out the window because of those two. They changed the game. And I think there was an expectation that when those two left, things would kind of go back to the way they used to be. And in a way, they have, right? You look at the last few Ballon d'Or winners, you look at who we consider elite strikers these days. What it takes to be considered elite is a lot different now than what it was in the 2010s because of Messi and Ronaldo. However, there are a few exceptions to the rule. And one of those exceptions, and hell, he is a big exception, is Erling Haaland. Now, I sometimes tell Cam, I wish I was a content creator in the Messi Ronaldo era, at the peaks of their power. I wish I was making videos talking about football, creating content as a living when they were really at their best. Because I just feel like the storylines, the narratives, the content I could be making on those two in particular, it's like an infinite content glitch, right? Every week, Messi and Ronaldo are doing something that leaves your mouth on the floor. I wish I could be doing content in that time. And I recently made a video on Erling Haaland a few weeks ago, just waxing lyrical about the guy. And it made me think, a few weeks later, should I really be doing more content on Haaland? Am I kind of just like beating a dead horse here? But then I think back to what I said about Messi and Ronaldo, and I thought to myself, no, what we are watching with Erling Haaland at the moment is historical. And I think we're quickly in danger of approaching a point where we normalize what he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing normal about what you are looking at right here. Nothing. 53 goals in 47 games for Norway. That's as many as Kylian Mbappe for France. That's as many as Wayne Rooney for England. Guys, he's doing it in like 40 to 60 to 70 less games than those guys. He is hitting numbers in record-breaking fashion. 53 goals in 47 games. That's more goals than games. And throughout his Norway career, even at the youth level, 9-3, 10-9. Doesn't even end there. Manchester City, 143 goals in 161 games. This is supposed to be the toughest league in the world, and he's nearly averaging a goal a game. At Dortmund, 86 goals in 89 games. For Salzburg, 29 goals in 27 games. Hell, the only club that looks like an outlier here is Molde. So I did some research, right? Why did he only score 19 and 48? As if that's like a stat to sniff at. What went wrong? Why didn't he average a goal a game there? Guys, I checked. He started like 25 games for them and still grabbed 19 goals. He was a baby at this point, and still the signs were there that this was a freak of a goal scorer. The signs have been there from the start. And it's why it makes me laugh so much when I hear this dialogue, this narrative around anyone could do what Haaland is doing for City. Anyone could score the goals Haaland does for City. If I played for City, I would score 15. Fabiano saying I would score 100 goals for Man City. Guys, this is not a Manchester City thing. It's not a Pep thing. It's not a system thing. It's not a Dortmund thing. This is an Erling Haaland thing. He is one of one. Do not try and compare yourself to him. In fact, I feel like we're always so hesitant to kind of just say what we're seeing and admit what we're seeing at the same time too, right? Sometimes we look at things and we refuse to really give it its flowers in real time. At the same time too, I definitely think as a generation, we sometimes are too quick to crown everything we're seeing the best. But there are instances as well, too, where I think we're holding back because we're afraid of disrespecting what came before him, right? I said recently, I think Nuno Mendes is already one of the best left backs I've ever seen in my life. And people are saying, well, he's got to do it for way longer for him to chat to Marcelo and Cole. I'm saying, guys, I'm sorry. I've seen all of these guys. I think he can already, in terms of ability, in terms of how good he is as a player, chat to any left back I've seen. I think he's that good. People will give me backlash on it. I stand by it. With Haaland, I'm sorry, right? You can throw me any name as a center forward. Any. And more likely than not, his goal scoring figures trump theirs. Trump them. The trajectory that he's on, the rate that he's scoring, no striker in my lifetime at least has ever been able to compete with this. And in fact, the only two as a goal scorer that you can really put on his level are Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are fantastic goal scorers in terms of the volume of goals that they score, right? Every single goal season, like I said earlier, 40, 50, 60 goals a season. They completely rewrote the laws of goal scoring. But also, when you look at them now with 900 goals for Messi, 950 for Ronaldo, both of them might end up with 1,000. Yes, you have to be a high volume scorer every season. But to hit those figures, you also have to be doing it consistently for a long period of time. And that's what makes Messi and Ronaldo so unique, right? For 15 plus years, they were at the top of the game. And for each of those seasons, they were hitting crazy numbers. But I'm sorry, if you actually look at their numbers as well too, they only really started 4 or 5 years into their career. Lionel Messi had his first 30-goal season under Pep in 08-09. I think he was 21 years old that season. Cristiano Ronaldo had his first 30-plus goal season at what, 22, 23? And then he only really started becoming a consistent 30-plus goal a season player at what, 24, 25? There's a reason why he scored more goals post-30 than before 30. Erling Haaland, since the minute he stepped into the game, has been an absolute freak of nature in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. The stats speak for itself. So already, Haaland is ahead of schedule compared to the other two. His trajectory suggests that if he's able to maintain this deep into his late 30s, he has every chance of surpassing Messi and Ronaldo's goal tallies as a career. Now, as I said, that's easier said than done because Messi and Ronaldo have done a fantastic job throughout their career of never being injured, staying fit, and maintaining their freakish levels. Haaland has to prove he can do that. But I'm sorry, there's nothing to suggest he can't. Now, yes, he's had an injury-prone start to his career, right? He's had many injuries at Dortmund, at Salzburg. At City, to be fair, he's kept himself relatively injury-free bar last season. But he has picked up injuries, and there is always the risk with that. But if Erling Haaland is theoretically able to maintain this level of fitness till he's 35, 36, 37, I'm sorry, guys, he will hit Messi and Ronaldo's numbers at the end of their career, if not surpass them. And this isn't an opinion. This isn't me trying to rewrite history. This is just facts. This is just reading the trajectory of his career. Can he do it? He has to prove it. But if he can, I'm sorry, there's nothing to suggest. His numbers are just going to fall off a cliff. Now, a lot of his game, as we know, is based on his athleticism, right? How fast he is, how quick he is off on the last line, how high he can jump, how strong and powerful he is, his core strength, never gets bullied off the ball. Yes, we get that. But also, the most underrated aspect of Erling Haaland's game is his mind. His IQ is off the charts. He mentioned recently he's only been offside 18 times in his entire Man City career. Props to him, first of all, for even knowing that. It shows you how seriously he takes goal scoring. But also, it shows to you how intelligent of a footballer this guy is. His anticipation, his reading of movement, his ability to read when opponents are going to step forward and time his runs based on that. He's one of the smartest players in the game at the moment in his own special way. And because of that, it suggests to me a player that by the time he hits 34, 35, he will have adapted his game. To last that long in your career, you have to adapt. Ask Giggs, ask Messi, ask Ronaldo. You can't play the same way you did at 25 that you do at 35. Of course. But I think Haaland's an intelligent enough player to know when his legs start to go, he will change the way he plays to still maintain his freakish levels. And again, as I said, by the time it's done, guys, will any of us really be surprised if he is the greatest goal scorer we have ever seen? Now, the conversation around Haaland compared to other strikers is always an interesting one because I think we're always hesitant to call him the best striker of all time or one of the best strikers ever because yes, his numbers are fantastic and unprecedented, but the conversation always kind of revolves around, is he as good a player as this guy? So Henry, for example, Haaland's a better goal scorer than Henry. I don't think anyone can even argue that. But is he a better striker? Is he a better forward? Is he a better player than Henry? That's always the conversation. Is he a better player than R9? And honestly, the answer is no. It is. Like, as much as you guys might dislike me for saying that, Haaland himself will raise his hands and say, I'm not as good at football as Henry was. I can't do what Henry did. I can't do what Ronaldo Nazario did. I can't even do what Ibra did, right? I'm not as skillful as they are as players, or I'm not as multifaceted as they are. But at the same time, Haaland enters or will enter that conversation of all-time great strikers, if not one day top it, because even though he can't do as much as those guys can, what he can do significantly bridges the gap. Because sure, Haaland can't drift out wide and dribble three players. Sure, Haaland can't slot balls into past three players into the path of another player. Sure, Haaland is never going to absolutely dazzle you with his footwork. But at the end of the day, the guy consistently leaves games with 1 goal, 2 goals, or 3 goals. And we bring it back to the Ronaldo Messi era. These guys redefined the game in such a way that when you were watching Barcelona and Real Madrid, you never even thought to yourself, is Messi going to score this game? You never thought to yourself, is Ronaldo going to score this game? It was a given. The question quickly became, not are they going to score, how many are they going to score? Are they going to score 1? Are they going to score 2? Are they going to score 3? Are they even going to score 4 this game? And in fact, it got to a point with these two that it almost became stranger when they didn't score. You found yourself asking what went wrong in that game for Messi and Ronaldo not to score. That has never been spoken about any other footballer before. But that's the level we're reaching with Haaland now. We don't ask ourselves, is Haaland going to score this week against Liverpool? We ask ourselves, how many is he going to grab? And when he doesn't, we ask, why hasn't he scored? He has scored in every single game, bar 1 this year. Bar 1. Every game, Haaland is guaranteeing you a goal. In qualifiers this year for Norway, they played 7 qualifiers. He scored 14 goals. 14 in 7. And I get it, right? Norway are having a golden generation, but Norway are qualifying for the World Cup for the first time in 30 years. They haven't qualified since 1998. And you can talk to me about Oscar Bob, you can talk to me about Odegaard, you can talk to me about Sander Berg, you can talk to me about Sorloth. They're all great, fantastic players. As I said, Norway have a golden generation. But Oscar Bob hasn't been the same since he came back from injury. Odegaard has missed many of these qualifiers through injury. Sorloth is inconsistent. Sanderberg is a good dude. Guys, let's call it what it is. It's a golden generation, but it's riding off the coattails of one man and one man only right now. Erling Haaland. He is the head of the snake. He is the golden generation. I'm sorry. When you have a player this great, please just surround him with competent players and let the man get to work. That's what we're seeing from Erling Haaland. I mentioned earlier in the video at the start, 30 goals in all competitions for a center forward is what makes you elite back in the day. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got 30 goals in all competitions, and it's November. What? 30 goals in all comps in November. Get out of here, man. Forget about it. I mean, what are we talking about here, man? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We are currently watching one of the greatest goal scorers in the history of football at the absolute apex of his powers. Take in the words I'm saying right now, right? Haaland might even go on to show us there's even higher levels he can get to. But even if he doesn't, the level that we have seen from Erling Haaland over the last few seasons and what he's currently doing at the moment is up there with anything anyone has done before. In terms of goal scoring, this is it, bro. This is Picasso. This is Van Gogh. This is it. This is what the greats look like at what they do. Erling Haaland, when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, is up there, if not the best goal scorer I have seen. And I know people will struggle getting those words out of their mouth because we have seen some fantastic goal scorers, but anyone you put to the table, he can chat to. In terms of just putting the ball in the back of the net, forget about it. I saw this amazing stat. Shout out HTOM UFC and it showed the breakdown. This is the best players in terms of goals per minute with a minimum of 500 plus, right? You got Henry at the bottom here. He scored 175 Premier League goals in 21,000 minutes, right? He averages basically a goal every 122 minutes. Sergio Aguero, he averaged his goals per minute ratio is crazy, right? He missed so many. Aguero, I think, honestly would have broken the Premier League record if he had stayed fit his entire career. I truly believe that. 20,000 minutes, he scored 184 goals. That's a goal every 108 minutes. You go into Malen and Duran, who obviously have a much smaller sample size, but still pretty impressive numbers. But you really need a large body of work to take real credence in these numbers. And then we get to the big man. 99 goals in 9,000 minutes. Guys, he averages a goal every 91 minutes. Do you know what that means? Football games are 90 minutes plus extra time. So on average, it's a 100-minute game, let's say, right? Maybe less. Maybe it's a 98-minute game. You get 3 minutes in the first half, 5 minutes in the second half of extra time. He's scoring a goal a game. honestly, a goal in less than a game. Every single game Erling Haaland plays, on average, he's scoring in that game. We have never been able to say that about a player in this league. Ever. And we're trying to normalize that. And I'm having second thoughts about whether I should be making more videos on this guy. I'm sorry, from here on out, Erling Haaland, bro, you might be the topic of every single video I make, because what I'm watching right now, I've never seen this before in my life in the Premier League. Messi and Ronaldo, they hit this level in Spain. But this is something special, man. I know Lewandowski for a minute in Bayern was doing similar. Kane at the moment, he's doing something similar. But for Haaland to be doing this year in, year out for like 5 years straight now, and then every year he's been in the Prem. We considered last year a down year for Haaland. How many goals did he score? 23, 24. Stupid, man. Stupid. I guess the motto of this video, right? The lesson of this video is, when you see something truly remarkable, truly historic, give it its flowers in the moment. Because I honestly think, looking back at it, watching the Ronaldo and Messi era, I took it for granted a little bit. Because when you see Messi doing something as special as he did every single game, I used to say about Messi, what makes him so remarkable for me is he does something in a game that I have never seen any other player do. And he does it every game. So every game with Messi, you are almost guaranteed a moment that just leaves your jaw on the floor. But the thing with Messi is, because he did it with such regularity, year in, year out, by 4 or 5 years in, you're almost taking it for granted because you expect it to happen. He has made it so regular that he's done the impossible. He's turned the magical into an everyday occurrence. And because it's an everyday occurrence, it becomes less special for you. But now I can safely say Messi's been gone from Barcelona for how many years now? 5 years. I miss it, man. I miss turning on my TV every single day and seeing what Messi's going to do. I miss turning on my TV every single day and seeing what Ronaldo is going to do. They were doing all-timer stuff, game in, game out, season in, season out. And I miss it because in the moment, I took it for granted. Maybe because I was younger. I'm sorry, I'm not making that same mistake with Haaland. And it's not to say Haaland's on the same level as Messi and Ronaldo. I'm not trying to say that. I think those two, you could argue they're the two greatest players of all time. Haaland's not on their level. But in his own special way, what he is doing is similar. These numbers, these records, this rate of scoring that he is doing, he's hitting at a clip. Man, I don't know if I can name 5 players who ever hit at this clip. It's stupid, bro. And I urge you guys to really look at it for what it is. This is an anomaly. This is magic in its own special way. Erling Haaland, bro, you're one of one. That's all I can really say. And congratulations to Norway as well, too, who, I don't want to say it's all Erling Haaland, but a lot of it is him. But as a nation in general, to qualify for the World Cup for the first time in 30 years, and the way that you've done it as well, too, emphatically so, that they need to lose 9-0 to Italy to not qualify automatically. So in my eyes, they're as good as in the tournament. Shout out to the country of Norway, and shout out to Erling Haaland for doing what he's doing, because this is just something stupid. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I have nothing more to add, man. Erling Haaland, absolute freak. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys very, very soon. And to be honest with you, when I see you guys, it'll probably be to talk about Haaland again, because he'll probably score another 2 goals in the next game. Peace.